Tonight, let us begin slowly. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. You can simply listen. This is a gentle story, a quiet story, a story meant to move at an easy pace, like a soft flame in the dark. Take a slow breath in and let it go. After midnight, the village grew even quieter, not silent, just softer, the kind of quiet that feels wide and open. The lantern keeper stood near the hearth, feeling the warmth rise slowly into the air. He did not think about time. Time was not important here. The fire burned gently, and that was enough. The forest around Mosswood breathed slowly. Trees shifted just slightly as if adjusting in their sleep. Leaves rested against one another, barely moving. The lantern keeper listened, not for danger, not for change, only to feel the calm settle deeper. The stone path felt cool beneath his boots. Each step was familiar. Each step felt steady. He walked slowly, allowing his thoughts to fade. There was no destination, only movement, only presence. The lantern in his hand glowed softly. It did not need to guide anyone. It did not need to warn. It simply existed. Light without purpose was the most peaceful kind of light. The lantern keeper stopped again. He stood very still, waiting for nothing, listening for nothing. Sometimes doing nothing was the work itself. Mosswood was a small village hidden deep within an old forest. It was not famous, it was not important, and that was exactly why people loved it. Tall trees surrounded the village, their branches resting quietly above the rooftops. During the day, sunlight filtered gently through the leaves. At night, the forest grew calm and still. It never felt dangerous. It felt safe. As evening arrived, the village began to slow. Doors closed softly. Windows glowed with warm light. Lanterns were lit one by one. They did not shine brightly. They did not try to chase awe. Their light was small, steady, enough to guide the wall near the center of Mosswood. No one remembered when it was built. No one remembered who built it. But every evening, a small it crackled softly. Sandy and it always woo. He moved slowly, never in. He did not speak much, and the villagers, they knew the lanterns would glow as he, and so they returned to their homes, leaving the quiet work to him. If a flame was weak, if the glass was dusty, he cleaned it with care. When the wind grew restless, he stood beside the lantern, shielding the flame with his hands. He waited patiently until the light grew steady again. On this evening, the air felt slightly different. Not cold, not uneasy, just quieter than usual. The lantern keeper noticed it as he paused beside the hearth. The fire flickered softly as if listening. He added one piece of wood, slowly and carefully. The flame responded with a warm, gentle glow. Above the village, the sky darkened. Stars appeared one by one. They did not rush. They never did. A thin moon rested between drifting clouds, watching over the forest. Everything felt calm, almost too calm. The lantern keeper lifted his own lantern. Its light was small but steady. He began his evening walk, step by step, along the familiar paths of Mosswood. The village waited quietly behind him, and beyond the trees something stirred, not loudly, not yet. The forest breathed slowly. The lanterns glowed softly. The hearth continued to warm the night. For now, everything was at peace. And so, the story rests here, for this evening. As night deepened, Mosswood began to sleep. One by one, voices faded. Footsteps disappeared. Only the soft sounds remained. The gentle crackle of fire, the quiet whisper of leaves, the slow rhythm of the forest breathing, nothing asked for attention. Everything was allowed to rest. Inside the houses, people settled into their evenings. A cup of warm tea, a chair near the fire, a blanket pulled close. Some villagers read quietly, some watched the flames dance, others simply listened to the peaceful silence around them. The world outside felt far away. The lantern keeper walked slowly along the stone paths. His lantern cast a soft circle of light on the ground before him. Stone after stone, step after step. He had walked these paths many times before, and yet each night felt slightly new. He passed the old well, its stones cool and smooth. He passed the bakery, now dark and quiet, still holding the faint warmth of a day. He passed small gardens, their flowers closed for the night, resting beneath the stars. Everything was exactly where it should be. At the edge of the village, the lantern keeper stopped. He did not know why. He simply felt the need to pause. The forest stood before him tall and still. No sound came from within, not even the wind. The lantern keeper listened. He listened not with urgency, but with patience. The forest did not speak. It only waited, and so did he. A quiet understanding passed between them. Nothing needed to happen. Nothing needed to change. Behind him, the lanterns of Mosswood glowed softly. Each light marked a home. Each flame marked a life resting peacefully. The village felt small, but complete. The lantern keeper felt no need to protect it. The light was already enough. After a moment, the lantern keeper turned back toward the village. His steps were unhurried. The path welcomed him, just as it always had. The forest remained quiet behind him, watchful, but calm. He returned to the old stone hearth. The fire had settled into a steady glow. No sparks jumped, no flames reached too high. It burned slowly, content to simply be. The lantern keeper adjusted one piece of wood. Nothing more was needed. The village slept. The forest stood guard. The lantern keeper remained. For this night, everything was balanced. Everything was calm, and the story continues, slowly, in its own time. The lantern keeper remained where he was. He did not move. He did not think. He simply stood, allowing the moment to stretch. Waiting did not feel empty. It felt full, full of quiet, full of warmth, full of the soft space between thoughts. The forest did not ask him to leave, and so he stayed. After a while, something settled inside him. Not a thought, not a message, just a calm understanding. Tonight did not need more light. It did not need more watching. Everything was already where it belonged. The lantern keeper exhaled slowly, and the night seemed to do the same. At last, he turned back toward the village. His steps were slow, unhurried. The stone path welcomed him again, cool and familiar beneath his feet. Behind him, the forest remained quiet, not distant, just resting. The old stone hearth came into view. Its fire had softened, settling into a low, steady glow. No sparks, no rush. The lantern keeper adjusted the wood just enough to keep the warmth alive. Then he stepped back. The hearth did not need him any more. Across Mosswood the lanterns continued to shine, each one steady, each one calm. They did not flicker, they did not fade, they simply remained, light, patient, and quiet. The village slept deeply now. Dreams moved softly through quiet rooms. Breathing slowed. Time loosened its hold. Nothing waited for morning. Nothing hurried toward tomorrow. This night was complete. The lantern keeper set his lantern down. Its glow dimmed gently, like eyes closing. He rested beside the hearth, wrapped in warmth and stillness. There was nothing left to tend, nothing left to guard. Beyond the village, the forest stood quietly. Trees leaned into the dark. Leaves rested without sound. Stars watched from above, slow and distant. The world felt balanced, held in place by silence. And so the story slows. There is nothing more you need to follow, nothing more you need to remember. The lanterns will keep their light. The hearth will keep its warmth. And you may rest now, just as Mosswood does. For tonight, this is enough. The fire is steady. The night is kind. And the story can quietly come to rest.